There's a lot of attention being given to the pH of drinking water these days. But how does pH affect your skin? Today we'll look at how adjusting the pH of skincare products too high or too low would affect your skin. Changing the pH of skincare can influence the color of a product, transforming a beautiful shade to a nasty, murky, muddy shade. The preservative can also be rendered ineffective. Your product would be moldy, filled with bacteria, covered in yeast, or be rancid before you ever purchased it. These are only effects on the products themselves. What would happen to your skin if you used a product outside of the premium pH range? The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. 0 is the most acidic and 14 is the most alkaline. Keep in mind that each number holds 10 times the strength difference of the number preceding or following it. The pH, or potential of hydrogen of our skin, ranges from 4.5 to 6.5, averaging a slightly acidic 5.5. The further from our skin's pH, the more damage will be done. Let's go through the scale to see how our skin would potentially react to each pH. Allow me to interject a warning. Some of the following content may not be comfortable for more sensitive viewers. pH 0 is the equivalent of battery acid. If it's only on your skin for a brief time and thoroughly rinsed off, there are no visible effects. If left on the skin, it will burn, irritate, itch, and dehydrate it. The severity of burns depends on the concentration and duration of acid exposure. If the concentration is high and exposure is long, skin cracking, blistering, and permanent scarring can result. pH 1 is the equivalent of stomach acid. A case is documented where a patient was exposed to stomach acid through an NG tube which became detached. After 2 hours of undetected exposure, he experienced first and second degree burns, requiring a skin graft. I'm sure if it were short exposure and immediately rinsed away, the effect on skin would be less severe. Nonetheless, a pH of 1 is not a healthy combination with our skin. pH 2 is the equivalent of lemon juice or vinegar. You probably have experienced the sudden onset of stinging when slicing a lemon. This is a fast way to discover any small cuts or punctures you have on your skin. Many professional chemical peels have a pH of 2. Skin is burnt and dried, causing the skin to peel away. Prolonged exposure at a pH of 2 or below will certainly cause skin cell death. Sun sensitivity is another concern with any acidic skincare product. pH 3 is the equivalent of grapefruit and orange juice. Again, any small break in the skin is immediately felt when the acid in citrus fruit hits it. Over-the-counter facial peels may have a pH of 3.5. If left on the skin for longer periods of time, redness, inflammation, and tenderness can occur. The risk of sun damage increases substantially. pH 4 is the equivalent of tomato juice. This one was of interest to me as it's a common solution for skunk odor in dogs. I formulate skincare for humans, not canines, so I did some research and found out that canine skin pH averages around 7 to 7.5. Tomato juice on dogs would be the equivalent of stomach acid on human skin. That aside, products with a pH of 4 would be quite stripping, drying, and cause irritation in our skin. Sun sensitivity would still be an issue. pH 5 is the equivalent of black coffee. It's a bit humorous to find America's favorite morning boost is just a half grade less in pH than our own skin. Products with a pH of 5 may be slightly drying and irritating. A leave-on product of this pH could cause some minor skin issues. A rinse-off product would not be optimal at 5, but most likely would not cause long-term issues. pH 6 is the equivalent of urine, saliva, and milk. Obviously, these liquids don't cause an immediate reaction if they contact your skin. Long-term contact would cause some mild irritation. For instance, if a baby's diaper isn't changed often enough, painful red inflammation occurs from urine contact. This isn't a huge issue for rinse-off products, but it would be slightly too alkaline to leave on your skin. pH 7 is the equivalent of water and blood. It's hard to think of water as being too harsh for skin, but it's true. In its pure state, water is drying to our more acidic skin. A long soak in bath water with no oils or moisturizer will in fact result in drier skin. As a side note, the pH of our eyes is around 7 to 7.5. Baby shampoo companies target that same range to avoid stinging of the eyes in case shampoo gets in. As a result, baby shampoo tends to dry the scalp and hair. pH 8 is the equivalent of seawater. Now we're getting back into the area of substances that cause stinging. It's a common misconception that acidic products are the only ones to be corrosive or cause damage. A pH of 8 is quite alkaline. Long exposure will cause some skin irritation. Products carrying a pH of 8 initially make your skin feel softer, but ultimately result in drier skin. pH 9 is the equivalent of toothpaste and hand soap. Skincare and cosmetics with a pH of 9 are meant to do some serious stripping. Hand soap often comes with harsh surfactants intended to remove oily residue. This is much too alkaline for facial skin. Using cleansers with a pH of 9 results in a tight, uncomfortable feeling. Skin will often be red, itchy, and flaking. A leave-on product will cause even more irritation. pH 10 is the equivalent of mild detergent. You wouldn't want to wash your face in dish or laundry soap. A pH of 10 would at the very least strip your skin of almost all surface moisture. You would be left with dry, irritated skin, left vulnerable to the effects of free radicals, bacteria, and environmental pollutants. This could increase breakouts and accelerate visible signs of aging. Fine lines and wrinkles would become much more obvious. pH 11 is the equivalent of household ammonia. pH 11 is nothing to toy with. It causes irritation, blistering, even severe skin burns. Skin is left with little moisture and inability to ward off environmental damage. Sun damage is almost unavoidable. Sagging, wrinkling, and fine lines increasingly appear. pH 12 is the equivalent of chemical hair straighteners. With the power to restructure the chemical bonds of hair, pH 12 is no friend to your skin. There is great potential for irritation, rash, redness, swelling, and skin burns, which can result in infections. Premature aging is the least of worries, as injury is the primary threat. pH 13 is the equivalent of bleach and oven cleaner. It is common knowledge that these items can cause serious skin irritation and burns. Applying a skincare product of pH 13 to your face would potentially cause irreversible damage. pH 14 is the equivalent of liquid drain cleaner. If a product is strong enough to melt and break down hair, lard, and anything else causing a drain to be clogged, it should not contact any portion of your body. Using a skincare product with a pH 14 would cause burning, which would be immediate. Damage would be severe and likely unrepairable. In extreme cases, depending on the concentration and length of exposure, long-term medical treatment may be necessary. I hope this video helped you understand the importance pH plays in the creation of skincare and cosmetics. Be sure to visit the reference links I listed in the video description for further research. Now it's your turn. Have you ever experienced a reaction from strong acid or alkaline products? Were you aware that extreme alkalinity can be as damaging, if not more, than extreme acidity? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to discuss it. This has been Laura with Naturally Gracious. Here's wishing you the best skin possible.